Welcome back, everybody. My name is Dragagon, and this is GregTech New Horizons. So, due to a goof up on my part, when I started recording, I didn't actually start recording, and it just paused my video, and I just went about talking about everything that I did, and then even made some more progress. I guess that means you guys will luck out on not hearing like 3 different sets of fireworks from getting resin and the steam alloy smelter and a solar boiler. Um, I was doing a lot of work. Not that map, this map. I've been going through this iron mine. I've been going through this copper mine. I went through this redstone up here. They aren't empty yet. I just have been doing a lot of work in those there. And now the birds decide to make a bunch of noise. Great. Hang on one second. Okay, there we go. It was their bedtime, so they were wanting to be covered up. I have a bunch of redstone. I have some ruby and cinnabar that I got from completing, or rather from that redstone spot, which helped me to complete this redstone quest here. I want the concentrated essence berry. That way I get some experience berries rather than getting a steam age loot bag. The other thing I did, I made some of the oak drawers because I happen to like the these guys, the drawers and stuff, rather than the Java barrels. I made the 16 crop sticks. And if you look, I've got a nice cobble house over there with no roof. And then I have a bunch of bamboo that is sitting over there. And then inside of there, I've set up an IC2 crop area that I haven't done any crossbreeding or anything with at this time. These ground gardens, I found out you can use those along with tropical leafy and herb gardens to make water gardens. So I made one and I plopped it down, and I've been using that to multiply them. So there they are there. And then I had this chest sitting next to my crafting table because I just went through all of the crafting in order to complete this guy, the water dilemma, basically making our water tank that you see sticking out of the house over there. I made 6 tree taps, and then I gathered up the sticky resin, made the iron rods, and then made the water tank siding. All of these guys, I went through and grabbed them all, and then I had like 6 or so here in my chest, and I only needed 4 of those. So I had 2 left over in order to run through once and then be able to make my siding. The other thing I had done is in the mines, while I was mining, I had found those small silver veins, and I ended up finding 12 of them. So I went ahead and I smelted down all the silver that I needed in order to make a solar boiler. Last game when I played, I went through, I started with just a regular, the regular small coal boiler. I don't have it on me. And this time I decided, well, you have to make the small coal boiler, but who's to say you can't make the solar boiler? So I went ahead and made it. So if we look in the steam age, I also made the steam alloy smelter by making 2 of these brick bronze hulls, because you need 1 for the simple solar boiler and 1 for your steam alloy smelter. You'll need 1 more if you want to make the steam furnace, so that's something to keep in mind as well. I have not made one yet because I haven't made a 3rd brick bronze hull. The other thing I did was I made the glass dust, and then that's what is sitting in here is glass dust, and I was pouring it out, and then I had to use my chisel in order to turn it from the clear glass to the regular Minecraft glass, which is what the that solar boiler wants. So if I run over here, since it is getting close to daytime, there you can see my tree. I went ahead and in the coins tab, I purchased the silverwood tree. I planted it. It finally grew. I chopped out its roots right there, and there is that. Here you can see my small IC2 crop farm. I made the bonsais, and then I got one of them. I got one of these oak ones to give me the oak bonsai seed bag, which is here. And then that completed the quest, and I can take as a reward 64 crop sticks. So I went ahead and did that. Also took that IC2 bag there, so that was nice. So here's my water tank, and I've got this this pipe here. And one of the things I was doing was I was showing that with this resource pack, you don't have to guess which way the water's flowing. If you shift right click it with a wrench, you'll see an arrow pointing in the direction it can go. If you do one on the other side, then you won't be able to accept anything. But at least in this way, you can guarantee that your stuff isn't sloshing around, which makes it nice for you know, making sure that the water is constantly going in that direction and not bouncing back and forth in your pipes and causing an issue with, you know, like this thing trying to fill up. But if we come out back here, we can see here is my simple solar boiler full of water, full of steam. I have the steam going out, and then I've got my steam alloy smelter here. So this is probably going to be something I take a look at to see if there's ways to tell what it can actually make use of, because I'm hoping it'll make bronze at a 1-to-1 ratio instead of that 4-to-3 ratio that I've got right now. Yeah, you can see my storage drawers here. I've got some of the bigger ones for wood, cobble, dirt. I've got gravel over here. I've got sand up over here. And then what else did I do? I have these animal traps here that I was using with the grain bait in order to get some leather. I now have enough leather ready so that I can make a bedroll, which is fantastic. I am happy to have a bedroll, have the ability to make a bedroll with my leather there. But the next thing that I am looking at doing is I have all of the iron necessary, and the thing that I was going to cut away to do so that you guys wouldn't have to sit there watching me over and over and over again is to work on the iron tank multi-block, making it a what is it? It's got to be a 3x3x4. It takes a lot of these iron plates, and I didn't want to bore you guys with me making a bunch of iron plates just to make the iron tank wall, and then making the iron bars from the iron rods. And then I had this guy set up. One, I needed the glass for that solar boiler, and then two, I can also take these guys and I can pour out some glass panes this way instead of having to go the other way. So I can do one and then two, and then those two things right there will make me one of those, make both of these iron tank gauges so that I can make my iron tank. And then with that, I've only got one block left, so we'll go ahead and do that, and then smelt up those last two there. So yeah, that is pretty much all that happened. My redstone over here is rather small vein. It took me mining basically the entire first 3 levels of it to get enough cinnabar in order to complete the redstone quest. So one of the other things I was looking at doing here soon was making use of this gold in order to make some of the what is it called? To make some of to make the ore finder wand so that I can take one of these redstone ores and run around and find another vein of redstone in case I need it. So yeah, lots of various things and sundry going on. A nice little oak wood farm here because that siding didn't take a lot, but those traps did, and then I needed even more in order to make this stack of taps up here. I made the wooden short bow and flint arrows. I got an iron sword off of a zombie, but I already have the bronze rapier to play around with. I think that's everything that I've done. So now that I've screwed up my recording, I've got to find some other stuff to do. Maybe what I'll do is once I get the iron tank done, take a look at making this this tanned leather. Got to make 3 of these so that I can make the bedroll. This guy right here, the sleeping bag. So yeah, maybe I'll take a look at getting that stuff set up. I also want to make an iron butchery knife. We can actually do that real quick here. I have more than enough iron. So there is 4 of those. And then I need a stick. 4 of those. And then what was it? Is it the hammer? Hammer and the file. Okay. And there is a butchery knife. The butchery knife I can run around with. It's got looting 2 and sharpness 1, which means hunting down cows for more leather will be nice and easy. As a matter of fact, I even think it has... Oh, I was thinking, okay, so gardener wants me to make a mattock. That shouldn't be too difficult. It gives me enough, not quite enough. It gives me almost enough to replace... No, it gives me enough, 1, 1 and a half. So that means it gives me an extra half of a bronze ingot, a little bit of iron gravel, a loot bag. I want you guys to let me know in the comments if you liked my previous loot bag sessions and whether or not I should wait on these things until I get a fortune bag, or if I should just go ahead and start opening some of these things now, whether you want me to do it as I get them, or whether I should save them up and do a loot bag day like I did in my last playthrough. I don't mind doing a loot bag day, but I also wouldn't mind opening them fairly frequently until I can get the Bibliocraft printing press and I can duplicate a fortune book in order to make a fortune 3 book. That takes a lot of experience, which means I'm going to have to be... there's a mob spawner over there in the redstone area. I could use that potentially to just kill mobs over and over and over again. It's dangerous, of course, because you might get infernals, but that is something that I can look at doing. So, next things. I'll go ahead and make I'll go ahead and get the stuff together to make a bronze mattock, get the parts ready for an ore finding wand, get the parts ready for doing the tanned leather and the sleeping bag, and I do have lapis, so I could even make the crowbar here. Each of the crowbar in particular being a required quest because it's got the little crown shapey look thing to it. Also, I need to go ahead and get the iron and stuff together to make a cleaner and get a stack of redstone. So that'll be something that I can also look at doing once I, have the materials together, made sure everything's up and running, and I'll bring you guys back in when I go to do that. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I've got quite a bit of stuff prepared at this point. I have right here my 2 large bronze fluid pipes. Now that I've got those done, I already had, and I need 4 of those. So I'm going to need to go back and make some more. I only made enough for 2, and I forgot that I need 4 for this. Well, I need 4 of these things for this quest. But I can at least make one of them there. There is our tank gauge. If I go ahead and let's go ahead and set those guys aside. 1, 2, 3, 4. You there, and then like so. there is our 30 iron tank walls. I already made the iron tank gauges right there, so if we take a look at that quest, multi-block goals, there's those two complete. I just need to make one more of these iron tank valves. So there's those guys. There's that one. I know I've already got the screws. I've already got the iron bars. I just need to go back and make enough of the bronze to make what is that, 12 more plates. So I need another 24 of these things, which is another batch of 6. So yeah, we'll go ahead and wait on that for right now. What I will do is I will get my hammer, make a cauldron, because I want to get this redstone out of the way here. So there's my hammer, there's my cauldron. Over here I have a bunch of buckets. So we'll go ahead. Eventually I'll have my stuff over there as well, and we'll just move into the house permanently. But at least for right now, just grabbing what I need right here where I started, where I had plenty of water to set up shop. So there's my bucket of water. Next I need to crush some redstone in order to get a full stack. And that guy will be used to fill up the cauldron is all that's for. So let's go ahead and grab this redstone ore. I want to do this like, I don't know about one at a time, but it breaks one at a time anyway. So there's 51, 56, 61, and here we go. That'll get it a full stack. If I wanted to, let's see here. If I wanted to, I would need another 12. So I think that's 2 more. If I do 2 more of this like this, there's 12. Look at that. All right, excellent. So there's that part of it, which completes this. Next, we have needing 64 impure, which is nothing more than taking our hammer to the crushed, and it'll come out as the impure pile. That'll, of course, break my poor hammer, because these hammers don't last very long. Oddly enough, when I was making the stuff for the multi-tank wall, the thing that broke the most was the file, because you have to file it to the rod, then you have to cut it with a saw, and then you have to file the bolts into the screws. And so I went through that quite a bit faster than anything else. What was I doing? Yes, this other 35 here. That gives us 2 stacks of 64. Now these things are better to do in a stack, to just toss it down all at once rather than dropping them in one at a time, because everything that hits it uses. So we drop the whole stack in. It does it once, and then now we've got a whole stack of redstone. And we'll just go ahead and do that twice. So there we go. Now we've got 2 stacks of redstone. And I can go ahead and plop that dirt back down. There we go. But having that 2 stacks of redstone will be handy. The next thing we can actually look at doing here is I can do this now. I can go 1, 2, 3. And then 2 of these guys will do this. So there is that. 2 sticks, 2 redstone, and then the gold ring. Okay, so let's grab a gold ingot. File that down, and then it takes the hammer and... It's not the file, is it? Let's see here. This guy... Shaped crafting, gold ring, shaped crafting, hammer and the file vertically. There we go. There's our gold ring. And then I still need 2 sticks. So let's do that, and then we can make our ore finder wand. Oh, I'm just missing what? Oh, a soft mallet. Okay. Soft mallet is over here. Yes. There we go. So here we go. Ore finder wand. And we are done. We now have our wonderful ore finder wand. Now what we do with this thing is you shift right click it in the air, or just right click it in the air. Shift right click it on the ground and it will take an ore. So you pop an ore in there, and then as you run around, when you get closer, it'll start to flex down, and it'll be completely upside down and make a bunch of noise when you are over a vein of it. I could show you by taking out this one. Let's go ahead and put that away. And if I take, let's say, where is some of it? Not any of you. There we go. Vanadium magnetite. So if we do this, and we run over here, there you go. And you can hear the woo, 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 woo as you're there, and then see as you move farther and farther away, the thing flips upside down as you go. So yeah, really nice, easy way to find an ore at a time. And of course now it's almost dark. So there's that. Then we have rare ores. Let's see here. Diamonds, redstone, tantalite, certus quartz, mica. So the only one out of this list that I'm missing is certus quartz. I actually do have a tantalite. I think it's a tantalite vein that's right over there. I'll have to look in just a second. Journey map. Kaolinite. Oh no, it's kaolinite. I misspoke. Anyway, so yeah, there is that stuff. So that was just a checkmark quest. It doesn't really do us any good other than to tell us that that's what it is. Here we go. We're about to be real loud because this guy is filling up. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, and there it goes. It'll go ahead and make another 4 bronze. It does work that way. 3 copper plus 1 tin ingot will get me 4 bronze. So I no longer am losing 4 ingots in, 4 ingots out, as opposed to 4 ingots in and 3 ingots out. So yeah, there we go. So I'm going to keep on doing that. Once I have all of my plates made, that's going to take me a little while, 6 runs worth of stuff in order to get enough plates so that I can make the last iron tank valve, and then we can go set that thing up over there, and then I won't have to pause and hold off on using my alloy smelter as often, because that little solar boiler will continue to fill my it'll continue to fill my steam gauge up, and then I can raise it up on some like a little scaffolding looking ladder kind of thing, and then run some piping across, and then I can slap a few machines on top, and we can start working with our steam machines, because the next thing that I need to do is make 14 red alloy ingots, which is a copper plus 4 redstone dust. So I have to make all of that stuff, and then I can work on making a wire cutter, and then we'll see what else opens up over here. So I'm going to take a break, get the stuff to make my other tank valve. I'll then go set it up, and then I'll bring you guys back in when I've got my red alloy ingots all prepped up, and we can start taking a look at the wire cutter and see where we go from there. So I'll see you back here in a bit. Well, I'm back, and I have basically the rest of the stuff that we're going to go ahead and finish out this episode with right here. So I went ahead and I made 3 iron rods, and then I have the lapis and the rest of the stuff necessary to go ahead and make our crowbar. So that's nice to have. I have this chest right here, which I'm kind of turning into, it was supposed to be basically a tool chest, And then I started throwing other tools and stuff in there just so that I would have them. You can see I've got some miscellaneous food around here as well. And that's because I finally was able to get enough unknown seeds that I'll be able to have that kick off next. But in the meantime, I've had too many of these jungle cats, the ocelots or whatever, come running through, jump through the window, and then run out into the backyard and then trample my poor little oak bonsai over there. So I finally put down 2 pieces of clear glass there just to keep them out of that. And then I am also going to go ahead and we're going to complete this door quest. So I have 4 ingots here for 1, 2, 3, 4. I then need to cut 2 of these like that, and then I'm going to take the file, or the hammer and the file, make 2 rings like that, and then we're going to make 2 bolts. So there we go. There's that done and out of the way. And then I need to make some trapdoors, and trapdoors are what is it? They're 4, 2 like that, and then I need 2 of those. Maybe I've got them off by 1. Let's see. No? Oh, right. Trapdoors are the half ones, not full ones. So let's do that. And that's why I have those 4 there, is so that I can cut them in half like that. And then I can wrap them like so. There's 2 trapdoors. Let's see here. Now to make the doors, let's see. There it is. The rings, the screws, an L shape, and then the screwdriver and the saw. So saw there, screwdriver there, screws, door handle, and then an L shape of planks, 1 and 2. So there we go. There's my 2 doors done, so that I can slap 1 there and 1 there. There. Now the cats can't get in unless they spawn in here. I'm probably going to have to rip up the entire floor and put down something. It's not going to be cobble, but I don't know what it's going to be just yet. Let's see here. I was also in the middle of making another soft mallet so that I can squish 1 more melon juice and complete the melon juice quest. So there's more food. I have mallow berries now, but I got them off of a crossbreed. I didn't get them from an actual like mallowberry bush. So I don't have those done yet because I don't have the raspberries yet, but that's all right. The next thing that I have here is I have these guys that I was going to saw. There we go, into 6 sets of screws so that I could put them there like that. And then I have these guys that I was going to then cut, and 2, 4, 6, 8. I need 9, but I've got 10 across there like that, and then the screwdriver, and there's 3 drying racks. And then the 3 drying racks I was intending just to put over a doorway so that we can work on the next part, which is, so that's those. I already did those, so now we need the tanned leather. So there we go, 3 of those, and then we'll just put them up on here to dry. And that way, when those are done, I can then just go ahead and get 3 wool and 3 carpet. So it's going to be lots of sheep shearing. I'll just, you know, have to take out my shears, go find enough sheep to get, what is that, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll need 9 wool total. And then those 3, and then I can make a nice sleeping bag that I can curl up in and keep my spawn base right there. So I think that is everything I had intended on making. Why do I have two? Oh, I have 2 extra leather because that was mob drop parts that I forgot I did not put away. So there we go. And then we have a crop stick, and we have our bronze mattock. Let's go ahead and pull these out. There we go. First breeding is done, and the next thing I'll end up doing is I'll end up making the eyeglass, the whatever you use to check what a plant is, and it'll at least tell you what the plant is, not necessarily what the stats are on it, but at least that's a good next thing. So the last thing then is this guy right here. Now, this is the fun thing. Do you want precision shears? Do you want an unbreakable mattock? Or do you want a 3 steam loot bags? And so that's a fun one to have to deal with when you're trying to get all of this stuff. That's part of the reason why I went ahead and I made the animal farms out there, is so that I can start putting like the grain bait and stuff in there, and hopefully we can quickly get the materials in order to then sit here and decide which of these 3 rewards I want. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll work on that kind of stuff. I'm glad to have a lot of this stuff done, although I would like... There was a really nice plant in the middle there, and I have no idea what kind of plant it was, because, of course, when I left-clicked it, even though it was fully grown, I did not get the plant out. So, yeah. Anyway... I think that's going to do it for this episode, running just over a half hour long on this. Oh, that was the last thing I meant to do. I meant to grab this out. There we go. Very important alloy. And then that gets us access to the wire cutter. So we'll need to make 3 iron plates, 2 iron rods, and an iron screw. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. What is it? And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll need our hammer, we'll need our saw, we'll need our file, and let's go ahead and start with that. So 1, 2, 3. There's our 3 plates. And then we have 2 of those, and then one of these gets converted into this and into that. And then what does it want us to do? It wants us to make a pair of wire cutters, which are then the hammer, file, and screwdriver. So hammer, file, and screwdriver. 1, 2, 3. That there. 1, 2. This, that, and that. And there's wire cutters. So there we go. There's our wire cutters now. That gets us access to a piston, and then from there we're going to get to our first macerator and compressor. And so yeah, tame an ocelot. I do not want an ocelot. Okay, yeah, I'm not too worried about an ocelot right now. That's just annoying. But anyway, yeah, that'll do it for this episode. I will see you guys in the next episode where, let's see here, is this just making a piston? This is making a piston. That's going to take some time, but we can get that done, and then we can start looking at some of this other stuff here and moving along in our Steam era. So we'll see you guys in the next episode. Till then.